It's Week 11 of the NFL, and all eyes are on Jared Goff. You can't ask for much more than his last game, a 5-touchdown effort. It's the Chiefs and the Steelers, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Looking to throw. King. Out to the flat. That's complete to his right. At the 25 after a gain of 6.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 9. Off the play fake. King. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw. King. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT. but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Goff. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Goff. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last. And the same thing happens this time out, too.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 84 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
Now 2nd and 5.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. Off play action. King. takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. You talk about this Chiefs defense. Well, they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. King. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Here comes Grant on the return. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And they will take over 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Walker now on 1st and 10, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Chiefs at 4 and 6 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them, and I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Gone. And that is incomplete.
How about the show put on by these two defenses in this first half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them giving an inch, and that's good coverage once again there to force another 4th down.
Matt Ariza now on to punt this one away. stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out.
We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here.
Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Now Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
All right, say it with me now. There's a lot of different words we can come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. A handoff as they run the counter play. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain. And it's 3rd and 2 now.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, King. That's going to be caught by Richardson.
And he will have a Steelers first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
To throw is King on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Now is 2nd and 10.
To throw again, King. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
Room to maneuver at the 35.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 4.
Off the bootleg, King rolling to his right. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
So many times I advocate not challenging coverage downfield, but on this play, I thought he made an excellent decision to actually do so. If that had been complete, that would have been one for the highlight reel.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. King. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now here comes Kansas City.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Moore, the man in motion. On 1st and 10, Goff. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Goff now looking to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
3rd down and 13. Goff now to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Off the play fake. King. They'll roll him out right. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Second and 10.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Operating from the gun, King. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Goff now looks to throw. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Now King throwing to start the drive. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Off play action. King. And that is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanting the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And this one is right through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Goff. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And, Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball's going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 8.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
We're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
To throw on 3rd down, King. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be stopped short of the first down, right around the 18-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So now on 4th down, Sean Payton's going to turn it over to the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he will not bring it out. He'll just go down to a knee here for a touchback. And the ball will come out to the 25.
KC's offense ready to take over.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Off play action. Here's Goff.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, here's Goff.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Goff. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Goff.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Goff. And this one is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And here's Matt Ariza now.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. King now, throwing to start the drive.
Connection made to Ruckert.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And this is going to be a Steelers 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. King. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
King on 3rd down. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Second and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Goff. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Play action. It's Goff. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll get this pretty close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 34. That'll leave him with a
3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 10. Moore, the motion man. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Here's Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
McPherson on for the field goal. A 48-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run and then executed.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Back to throw. King. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man is Duvernay. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
11 more on that one and another first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Complete. Richardson has it. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Back to throw again. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. Laying himself out in the end zone. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And shedding through the tackle. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about two-thirds complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, and it's the Giants who are out in front. Aaron Jones has a touchdown on the ground. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And at halftime, they trail the visiting Seahawks in that ball game. Joe Mixon has a run for a touchdown. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And they trail the visiting Falcons in that one at halftime. Dalvin Cook, a touchdown run in that first half. The final adjustments taking place here for both of these squads. They're about ready for the second half in Kansas City. And for the call, we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Straight ahead, Walker. Powerful running. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From just shy of midfield, here's second and a yard. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Goff. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Goff. His throw incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Goff. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. To the right side, this is Walker. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover.
Kid had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 2nd and 5. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Ken Walker with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are back within a score.
No touchdowns for them in the first half, but their defense kept them in this ball game. So now maybe this can loosen them up a little because they played tight so far, and they get right back in it with a touchdown run.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And it's up. This is good, and it makes it a 16-10 game now. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd down and 9.
Off the play fake. King under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
This defense coming out after the half, and if that play's any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Looking to throw. King.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still 3rd down.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Back to throw. King.
And that's going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff being chased out left. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Gone. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Give to Walker on the read option. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Goff now looking to throw. He'll buy some time right. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So nothing doing there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like you did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Goff on 3rd down.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And this is caught. He hits more. And he is going to have the Chiefs first down. No problem there. They get the first by plenty on 4th and inches.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. So after the 4th down conversion, now 1st and 10 inside the 25. Goff now looks to throw. That is incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Goff now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down, right around the 17. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On for the field goal now is Evan McPherson. From the left hash, this from 34. McPherson's kick is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. Well, a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
55 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Edwards-Helaire on the counter. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on 3rd down, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, King. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here's Logan Cook now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Returnable for Grant. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Goff on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken to the ground right there at the 35-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Hand off here to Walker.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Moore, the man in motion. Throwing on 3rd. Goff.
And it is caught. And he will have the Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Goff. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Off play action. Here's Goff. Walker has it. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know, you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
Now this one setting up for a great finish, all tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. King. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 9. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Steelers have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. So still time remaining here in this 4th quarter, but the touchdown there puts them back out in front.
And you and I both know that their defense will not very subtly remind everyone that they started all of this because they held firm on the last drive and only gave up a field goal. Gave it back to the offense in a tie game and said, okay, your turn now, make something happen. And they went down the field and scored.
Extra point forthcoming. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Up the middle, it's Williams. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Goff. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A pretty good mark there. They needed 14. They got 14 on 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And despite a nice juke there, really good move, he only gets about a yard, and it brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Back to throw, Goff. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Back to throw. King. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the 28-yard line. Let's rock, baby.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Here's 3rd and 6. Off play action. King eluding the pressure right. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So Jared Goff in the offense, down by 10, just over a minute 40 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Goff. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jesse Bates, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock. So 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. Second and 11 now. And to give this time to the tailback. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, of course, this win a big one. They can hang their hat on this victory on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs.
And you know how difficult it is for the team that wears the crown because they're going to get everyone's best shot. So let's face it, they circled this game. We're going to go in there and take down the defending Super Bowl champs. This is our opportunity. They're not going to walk out of here with a trophy today, but they will walk out with respect around the league. And to them, that's vitally important.
So for the Steelers, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.